Hey, everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. I'm Anthony, and this is the podcast where connections thrive. Each episode, we spotlight inspiring entrepreneurs, professionals, and individuals doing amazing things. Together, we'll grow your circle, spark collaborations, and discover new opportunities. Today, we're meeting Angie Yi, a neurodivergent second generation Asian American mom and franchise consultant dedicated to empowering women and minorities to build generational wealth through business ownership. Angie connects aspiring entrepreneurs with the right franchise opportunities using a science backed assessment tool and providing guidance every step of the way, making the path to personal and financial freedom more accessible. How are you doing today, Angie?
Good. How are you, Mark? I mean, Anthony.
Well, I always get that. Everybody sees Marky and it gets shortened to
Yeah.
Mark. And I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, I'm doing well. I can't complain. It's been a great week so far. I was excited to have you on. We've had some technical difficulties in the past, so I'm excited that we're here now. We got it all squared away, and I'm gonna be able to introduce you to more people. So to start off, where are you located? Where are you calling in from?
So I am in New Jersey. I'm originally from New York, and I've been in Bergen County for about 5 years now.
Awesome, awesome. What do you do for fun out there? If you have guests coming into town, where are you taking them? Where are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do, and where are you going for dinner?
So I would say New Jersey is, I would say it's known, especially in Bergen County, it's known to have good Korean food. So I would probably take them to some, authentic Korean spots. And also the American Dream Mall isn't too far from here as well. And, it's a great place to take your family or go somewhere where you can hit up ice skating as well as skiing, as well as um, the amusement park. It's kind of all in one inside the mall. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Never been out there. I'll have to check it out sometime. But what can you tell us about what you do?
So, as a franchise consultant, I love what I do because I get to learn about each individual I connect with, and I basically provide them with the most ideal franchise opportunities specifically for them across 37 industries. So, not just food and beverage. And I narrow it down from a list of over 800 brands to a short list based on their values, their goals, budget, and basically saving them a lot of time and energy trying to research it themselves. So you can kind of think of me as like a recruiter, but instead of helping people find job opportunities, I'm helping them find franchise ownership opportunities.
Okay. What got you started in this? What's that journey look like? Is this something that you always wanted to do, or is it something you kind of discovered along the way?
So so franchise consultants are kind of like a niche. And a lot of people that I talk to have never heard of one. And honestly, I've never even heard of one as well before I got into the industry because unless you know someone in the industry, you're not really exposed to franchising. So I was kind of in the corporate rat race and was getting tired of my 9 to 5 job, and I needed something where I felt there was more growth opportunity. And it just wasn't meeting my standards, and it was a very toxic environment, and I knew I had to get out, and I wanted to do something for myself and have the flexibility to be present with my family. So I was reached out to by the Franchise Brokers Association, and when I spoke to them about this role that they kept contacting me about, I it sounded very appealing, and I decided to take a chance of faith, and trusted my gut and decided to enroll in their program to get certified. And now I'm here, and so far I'm loving what I'm doing and helping people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you say you're loving what you're doing, but what in particular do you love about it?
So it like the journey, it revealed like a hidden world of affordable business ownership opportunities through franchising. And it's shocking how so many people are unaware of these opportunities simply because, like I said, they lack the industry connections and the lack of public information about it. And just knowing how, these days with the economy, so many friends I know that are struggling, I felt like this was something that was purposeful. And I just wanted to be on a mission to help others, struggling in their job, hating, where they are in their career, but not knowing how to pivot to something that maybe they had a passion for, or just thinking they're stuck where they are because they've been in a certain industry for so long. But with these, opportunities, you're able to own a business without having any industry experience, in some of these, industries where you can actually learn the trade while you're building revenue. And it's just, something that I have, it's very interesting because you learn about all these different franchise brands, and it's been quite fascinating and fun, and just meeting so many people through networking.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously, starting this, you've had some hard won lessons. What is some advice that you would give yourself if you can go back to when you started, or that you've seen other people make, like certain mistakes or certain areas they weren't prepared for? That if you could tell an inspiring entrepreneur or yourself when you started out, what advice would you give them?
I would say if you're starting out, as an entrepreneur, definitely surround yourself with people with the same mindset. Make You don't need more friends; you need allies. People that are going to encourage you and offer you guidance or advice. Um, I would also, tell people to trust your gut, because the way certain people work, may not be the same way that you work. And, sometimes the advice you get might not fit you, and how you work. And, you would probably just want to do things the way you feel like your skill sets are being utilized, and where you're able to shine, rather than trying to follow the way, or steps that other people are taking that might not be the best way for you, because every individual is different. So it's good to, take advice, but also consider if it's not working for you, then try another route, and don't continue to stick with something that you feel in your gut isn't working out for you.
Okay. What does your average client look like, or what are the pain points that somebody might be going through that if they're dealing with XYZ, you're the person that they should be talking to?
I'm going to say the usual pain point is, they're in corporate. They have been in an industry for very long, that they want to get out of, but are unsure if they can afford business ownership, which, many people disqualify themselves without, actually realizing how affordable franchise ownership can be, and thinking you have to have the full investment amount, in liquid capital, which is not the case. You don't start a business with your own savings. That would be very risky. Leveraging, loans is the best way to go about, starting up any business, whether it's a startup or franchise business. There's also, the option of business acquisition, or, buying an existing business. And there are franchise resales that are available too that people are unaware of. There's just so many options, and it's always good to speak with a consultant who is knowledgeable about the industry, and to basically be able to provide you with all the options, and support and resources, to financing that you would not be able to, figure out or find out on your own, without spending hours of time, hours of your time, which a lot of people don't really have these days. um, yeah.
Okay. What about power partners? What are other professions or professionals out there that you synergize well with or find a lot of collaborative, opportunities with?
I guess I would say recruiters, because they're doing similar. You know, what they're doing is very similar to what a franchise consultant does. We're essentially both recruiters. They're recruiting for job opportunities. Franchise consultants recruit for franchise ownership opportunities, and, um, when recruiters have people that they are having trouble placing in certain job opportunities because it's not meeting the standards of the individual, and the individual might have more of an entrepreneurial mindset, wanting thinking they can probably run a business on their own. Those are the types of people that probably make the best candidates, for a business ownership opportunity. So I would say recruiters and even financial advisors, because they're working with individuals, who probably have, the capital and the net worth, that would pre-qualify them, to own a business. So I would say those two, are the best type of collaborative partners that I would look for.
Okay. How can franchising help people build generational wealth?
So that's a great question. When three big reasons franchise ownership can be a powerful tool, especially for women and minorities, to build generational wealth. It's basically having access. First, it's having access to a proven system. It reduces risk compared to starting a business from scratch, and being offered a business model with established brand recognition, operational procedures, comprehensive training, marketing assistance, ongoing guidance, which can be especially valuable for those that are new to entrepreneurship. And a second reason would be the financial advantages. It's easier to get approved for financing with franchises. Many lenders are actually more willing to provide loans to franchise businesses due to their proven track record. And the company purchasing power. The franchise networks relationships with suppliers, lower supply costs, which help increase profit margins. And three, scalability and growth. So, when it comes to owning multiple units, successful franchisees can often expand by opening additional locations, which will increase their revenue streams and asset space. The value of an established franchise business that's thriving with an existing client base and cash flow can then be resold at a much higher value than your initial investment, usually a quicker and higher return as well compared to, say, selling a home. Or the business can be passed down to family members, providing a foundation for future generations. So franchise ownership really offers a pathway for people to overcome traditional barriers to entrepreneurship and build successful businesses that create lasting financial legacies for their families.
Okay. What should aspiring entrepreneurs look for when they're choosing the right franchise opportunity?
That is a good question. So when they are looking to find the right franchise opportunity, they have to have a business owner mindset rather than the consumer mindset. Because a lot of times when we think about franchises, we're thinking about the biggest names like Chick-fil-A and 7-Eleven, and you automatically think as a consumer of like what you like. But that's not how you should think when you're looking to own a business. You have to really think about what kind of business model would work for you and would actually align with your values and your skill sets and competencies. And that's hard to figure out. But that's why I like to use a science-backed tool where they would take this assessment and would provide me with their business profile, showing their values, their skill sets, their competencies, where their stage of growth is, which will, essentially help me find the right franchises with the, business models that align with them, which is, which would give a higher chance of success versus, an individual just going after a franchise model just because of a product that they like or a brand name.
Okay. So you mentioned your science-backed tool. How does that in particular simplify the franchise selection process?
So it's backed by 5 science-based studies, and the individual results really gives them a unique value, stage of growth, and more, and it would help narrow down a list from 800 brands to a list of 5 to 10 that align best with that individual. And it's important to think from the perspective, of a business owner and not the consumer. And it depends heavily on, and because, the success of a business depends heavily on the owner and their alignment with the business model and company values. And many find themselves owning a business in an industry that initially never crossed their mind once they are presented with all these options that they have never, thought of.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no, there's definitely a wide amount, like you said, 800 plus franchises out there, so not everybody's going to fit every one of them, because let's say you're a vegan, you don't want to own an Arby's because they got the meats, right? So you definitely need to narrow that list down. So that's awesome. Is there anything that I missed or failed to ask that you wanted to add?
Um, I would say, I guess, just keep in mind, when you're thinking to own a business, the reason why franchising would be a less riskier option is the support that's provided that you would not get from starting your own business and figuring out how to run one, especially with technology now. The way it's advancing so quickly with AI, time is of essence when you are trying to build your business. So having the support, especially with marketing, and being able to not have to figure things out and take that time, and making mistakes and getting sidetracked, it's good to have a business model to follow, especially as a new entrepreneur. And franchise consultants, we provide these services at no cost. So why not get the guidance and the advice from someone in the industry, rather than trying to figure things out on your own.
Absolutely. If you're looking at starting a business, starting a franchise, you want to investigate everything, but you're not an expert yet. So work with the people that are, especially like you said, it's no cost. Have that conversation, look into what might be a good fit for you, find narrow it down. You use the tools that are out there to help you succeed, and that's what a franchise is. It's the business ready to go. You just got to kind of follow the plan and find the one that best fits your needs. So that's awesome. For the people that want to do that and have that conversation, where can they find you and how can they get a hold of you?
So anyone that's curious about exploring franchise ownership, they can come check out my webpage at www.franchisewithangie.com, or you can find me on all social media platforms except TikTok, or simply book a call with me through my calendar link, which will be provided by Anthony.
Yeah, I'll put all that in the description, so it's super easy to find. So if anybody would like to get in touch with Angie, do so. Have that conversation. If you're looking at starting a side hustle, or if you're looking at owning a business, or looking at what's available out there, have that conversation. Take that look, make sure that the path that you're going down makes sense. So that's why people like Angie are out there. Absolutely leverage that tool, and make sure you're doing the right thing. So absolutely reach out, have that conversation. If anybody would like to get a hold of me, you can find me at ikag.me. You can find more episodes, subscribe to our newsletter, and connect with our growing community of awesome people like Angie. If you or somebody you know would like to be interviewed, you can also apply on the website. But I really appreciate you coming on, taking your time, pouring into us. There's a lot out there, and I didn't know about the whole, your entire profession until, fairly recently. So I don't know what I don't know. And a lot of people out there are in the exact same boat where we don't know what they don't know, but there's people like you that are able to guide us through it. So really appreciate what you're doing. Let's all go have an awesome day and grow our circle. All right.
Thanks, Anthony.